I'm going to go over my highs and lows for the game today. So I always like to start with the lows because we always like to finish on a high. All right. We always like to have that good thought. All right. The first low of the day goes to the Iowa offense. I mean, hands down, people. I just can't believe that you have a major Division I program that is this anemic offensively in a power conference like the Big Ten. It's just mind-boggling. You've got such a great defensive schematically that your defensive schematics keep you in games, and if you could just get something going offensively. I mean, you're not a 3-4 team. Let's put it to you like that. Your defense plays almost like a 5-1 team. All right, your offense plays like an 0-5 team. That's what it plays like, and it's shameful. I know I already mentioned this. I know Iowa doesn't get 4 and 5 stars like Ohio State does, but there's got to be some low end 4 stars, some skill guys that you got to be able to get out there to make this offense a little bit more effective, because you just can't keep putting the offense or the defense in these situations, and you just try to have them bail you out every game, and it's impossible in this day and age the way offenses are. My second low of the day was Ohio State's red zone offense. You saw that in the first half. Just wasn't crisp. It wasn't in rhythm. C.J. Stroud holding the ball, nobody's open. So again, it's something that I'm glad that Ohio State struggled a little bit with it. But obviously, as we go down the year further, you get into the playoffs. If Ohio State makes it, you can't have field goals in those situations. You got to cash in touchdowns there. Obviously, a few years back, we saw that in the Clemson game in the playoffs when Ohio State couldn't stick it in the end zone on a few different occasions and had to settle for field goals, and it came back to bite them. My third low is, again, kind of mentioned already, Jackson Smith-Njigba. Saw him pull up lame on that one route to the outside. When he hobbled off, I don't know if he looked like he grabbed for his groin or what, but again, we'll have to wait and see. You feel sick for this kid because he was really a Biletnikoff candidate, even a Heisman candidate after the year that he had last year. So you hope that this is something that it wasn't the hammy again, but it looked like lower body. So who knows what that could be, people. And but with that said, I think we've shown that even without JSN, this offense is very capable of taking care of business and doing what they have to do to score points. Number 4, the short yardage offense. Wasn't real happy with it today. Now, Ohio State did complete 3 of 3 on 4th downs, but on those 3rd and shorts, Iowa was just crashing both ends, and Ohio State did a poor job today on short yardage offense. Another thing that Ohio State was poor on today, and again, you got to credit Iowa with this. You don't see this. Ohio State was one of the best teams in the country on 3rd down. They were 3 of 13 today on 3rd down. So credit to Iowa. And again, 3 of 13. Those will catch up to you later on in games, in bigger games, when you have that poor of 3rd down conversion rate. So Ohio State was about 70% on the year coming into the game today. But again, remember, guys, give credit to Iowa's defense. And again, another low was running the football as a whole today. Okay, just as a whole. Ohio State only had 28 carries for only 53 yards. Very, very unlike Ohio State football. But again, give credit to Iowa's defense. Now, let's go to the highs. And where do you start out with the highs here? But our Ohio State's defense as a whole today was absolutely fantastic. Only gave up 3 points. The touchdown came on a defensive fumble return, so they only gave up 3 points. They forced 6 turnovers, and they had their first pick 6 on the year. And they held Iowa to 1 of 13 on 3rd down. So say what you want about Ohio State on 3rd down. What's the defense do? Ohio State's defense goes right back out there, and they hold Iowa to 1 of 13 on 3rd down. So great stuff by the defense as a whole. Can't be prouder than that. When you have this anemic of an offense, This is what your defense needs to do to this type of offense when they're that anemic. Again, is Ohio State elite or great defensively? Right now, I think they're flirting. They're flirting. They're right around that great line right now. Can they get to the elite line? Time will tell. Number 2 as a high, Zach Harrison. Zach Harrison finally showed up today again. Tremendous job. Quarterback pressures, sacked for a fumble, forced a fumble. Numerous plays today, numerous pressures. Outstanding job by Zach Harrison today. One of the guys that flashed in my eyes. I've been hard on the kid. He was a 5-star player coming out 5 years ago, and 4 years ago, I think it is. He's finally starting to play like it. If we get this type of play out of Zach Harrison, Ohio State's defense will then jump to elite, no question. My third high of the day, Noah Ruggles. Noah Ruggles has not had to kick many field goals all year, okay? He's just been kicking extra points. So there's going to come a time, I can assure you, Noah Ruggles is going to need to step on the field and make a big kick. And today, they weren't chip shots either. He had one chip shot from 26 yards, okay? But those other chips, those other shots were all over 40 yards. Those aren't gimmies. They are not gimmies. I love it today. Noah Ruggles got a great chance to step on the field when the game meant something, when it was in doubt, and he knocked those 4 first-half field goals in. So great job by Noah Ruggles. And my next high, you might say, is a low, but I view it as a high. I'm glad Ohio State's offense got challenged today, okay? They needed to be challenged, and I'm glad. And I told some friends at work, I want to see Ohio State's offense get challenged. It has just been way too easy for this offense the last 5 games, just way too easy. They can do whatever they want, and I'm glad they got challenged today because you know what? It gives a lot of film time now for these guys to go in and the coaches to get after them a little bit and see what Iowa did to them. What I did see a few times is by going man-to-man, they got very physical with the Ohio State receivers. Could have been some flags in there, but there wasn't. It's not a foul if there isn't a flag. So what are you going to do? All right. But they really challenged Ohio State receivers today. They got real handsy with them. And this is something maybe down the road some other teams might look to do. But then again, you have to remember something. This Iowa defense sticks by a plan, and their schematics are not like a lot of other teams, okay? So a team just can't sit there and say, hey, let's do what Iowa did. You can't do that, all right? You have to do what you do. But I think they can look at some of the things that Iowa did. They got physical with the Ohio State receivers coming off the football at times, and it caused some issues for Ohio State in that first half. Now, again, you try to do that for 60 minutes. Now you see what happened in the second half. C.J. Stroud got to get back in stride with his receivers again. Marvin Harrison, Emeka Egbuka, and then Fleming on the long bomb. It's just a matter of time before those guys get right back into that rhythm. But then again, like I said, as a high, I like it because they got challenged today. So it gives the Ohio State coaches a chance to get in that film room and really look at some things and, look at some wrongs that may have taken place or some plays that they might have missed offensively. So those are my highs.